that all of a sudden they could be shut down for an investigation, arbitrarily. So it's the idea that it's too much power concentrated to the government that would intimidate all these private practitioners, so that in effect they would be all singing the same tune and not being able to set their own prices. Now that's kind of the way that the conspiracy theory goes. How much of that do you see as real, and how much is just paranoia?
It's real. It's just that the insurance companies have ways of fixing prices as well. Your contract with the doctors usually states a fixed amount that's payable for each procedure given its SIC code, and that's the amount that the doctor gets paid. So I don't see too much of a difference in the system that would be utilized by the government either. I don't see that it's going to become any worse. The doctors will still be able to make a nice fat living.
Yeah, you could argue. Yeah, it's hard to make it worse if already there's tremendous amount of waste. You're talking about a lot of waste and a lot of over-testing and over-prescribing.
Yes, again, consider the fact that the insurance companies now, they're for-profit, and the hospitals, they're for-profit. Matter of fact, when the same hospital converts from a not-for-profit hospital to a for-profit hospital, costs go up between 20 and 35% for the same procedure in the same hospital. It's ridiculous, the amount of profit taking that goes on. And again, Medicare spends 3% on administration, whereas 30% of every healthcare dollar is spent for administration and profit when you have it left up to the insurance company. So they're taking quite a bite out of every healthcare dollar. You take them out of the equation, and you've got a much more streamlined system.
Yeah, what do you think about HSAs, the health service accounts, where you, instead of standard insurance, you pay into essentially a 401k and it piles up, and then you can use it for small expenses, and then you could, if you got a big expense or you get cancer or something, then you would use it for that, and then if you never use it, well, you get it when you retire.
Well, those are usually in conjunction with a catastrophic policy, meaning that if something catastrophic, horrible happens to you as far as your health goes, then your catastrophic policy will kick in. But your HSA money, that just goes for 100% payment on your to your doctors. And you can belong to a private PPO without even being a member of a particular insurance plan.
Yeah.
So you can get discounts that way. Also, they work very well in conjunction with that.
Yeah. So how would that work under the single payer scenario?
Well, that would go towards your copay. I imagine there's going to be copays. The reason they put in copays is to cause people to not want to go to the doctor, aside from the fact that guys like you and me never want to go to the doctor anyway. People who are older tend to go for every little thing, and if it costs them a certain copay out of pocket, then they're going to think twice about going to the doctor.
Yeah, that was where you pay your own, and you're much more frugal. I saw a John Stossel special on that, where they have a similar system someplace where people make much better decisions about that. Okay, well, I didn't want to drag it out too long, but I found it very interesting that you're able to be libertarian on almost everything, but on this one, because it's so screwed up, you're looking at it kind of like an emergency system, something like police and fire, where it's just if private practice really screws it up so badly, then there has to be some public compensation there, and I can see where you're coming from. I'm still not entirely convinced. I still think that there's ways the government has perverted the whole thing through mandates and and especially lawsuits and tort reform, and that would really help a lot.
Tort reform would help a lot, yes.
It would help, contain all those malpractice suits and all that. But I generally appreciate where you're coming from, and I could see some big advantages of cutting out a lot of fraud and abuse. And especially, this is a system where there's a lot of knowledge that's needed. That in a free market system, typically the knowledge is well distributed out, and people make individual, specialized decisions all over the place. But in healthcare, it's a little different. Over specialization, which what we have right now, doesn't give you the holistic view very well. You'd think that would be a specialty in itself, but our general practitioners, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, are disappearing under the current incentive systems. And I've heard of things where they're trying to incentivize more